because you went over here.
I know you're elbowing.
On that side, that's why. Hey, it's Brandon and Joanna again with How to Run Like an Olympian.
Well, last time we got together, we gave you the top 5 tips on running uphill. Today, we're going to give you the top 5 tips on running downhill.
Yeah, my least favorite thing to do.
My favorite part of running is running downhill.
All right, so our number 5 tip for running downhill is...
Don't be afraid.
Now, who is afraid of a downhill?
Most people are afraid of running downhill.
Right, well, why is that?
Well, I think there are a few reasons. Number one, people get really sore when they run downhill. Their quads just get real. I mean, when you do a downhill race like a Boston Marathon or a course like the Wildflower Triathlon with lots of downhill, afterwards people are hobbled because
your quads get yeah. You know, it's funny, I mentioned that downhill running is not my favorite thing to do, and you like it, right? Well, if I had to figure out why I would be afraid of it, it's because it hurts, right? And so that's my big fear, is that I know it's gonna be uncomfortable.
And I think some people are afraid that they're actually gonna fall because you lose a little bit of control.
Right, if you're running quickly.
Right, so, but don't be afraid, because our other tips are gonna help you run downhill better, faster, and erase your fears. Well, we're back at the top of the hill.
Yes, we are. So, with the arms on the downhill, there's multiple ways to do this, and everyone's going to be unique, right?
Right. Well, I mean, the biggest thing is using your arms to help you balance, so that you can really let the momentum take you down.
And get rid of some of that energy.
And you got to just put your pride aside and just let your arms go.
The steeper the hill, the more like
arm flail.
Arm flail you're going to get. So this is a pretty steep hill. I think we can get away with a little bit of arm flail. Maybe we'll exaggerate just a hair just to show you that it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right.
And I might run quicker than you because I'm heavier.
But I'm a better runner.
Oh, you're not a better runner.
Okay, maybe not.
You're a better swimmer.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Oh my God. All right, so the number 3 tip is to open your hips. Now, I told you I didn't like downhill running, so I'm not gonna run down this hill right now. Joanna, however, is at the top of the hill, and she is really good at this. She has an excellent downhill form, so she's gonna show you how you open your hips, and we'll get into a little of the technique before. Okay, so you see how her heel is really going up to her butt. It's really getting on the back of her stride, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that her hip flexors in the front are really open. Now, for someone who's tight, like myself, that is not going to be something you're going to be able to practice and fix out here. You're going to have to go into the gym and start stretching and doing some exercises to get that open. Joanna, however, is extremely flexible and doesn't need any of that. So, but she still does it so that they stay loose.
The number 2 tip is to use the downhill for recovery. And you can see right here that Brandon is running up the hill, and that's pretty tiring. This is a very steep hill, and he's gonna get to the top and turn around, and he's gonna come down the other side here as he almost takes a fall. And look how fast he's going, but at the same time his heart rate is coming down, yet he's still gaining speed. And that's the beauty of the downhill. If you go uphill, you gotta go down the other side, and you can use that to your advantage to get your breath back, but at the same time, if you can maintain your speed and acceleration, you'll go by people even as your heart rate comes down and you feel like you've recovered from the uphill.
All right, well, the number 1 tip, how to run like an Olympian downhill, is to not put the brakes on.
Which you just saw us doing right there. You saw that we were much slower on that one because we were both landing very far back on our heels. we're almost in a sitting position, which
Right.
is how a lot of people run downhill.
And when you're doing that, you're really jamming your hip joint. It's not good for the hips. There's definite injury risk when you're doing that. So,
Plus you're losing so much momentum.
yeah, and you're fighting yourself. So the last tip, which was how to recover on the downhill, you're actually not going to recover as well because you're fighting
You're fighting gravity.
You're fighting gravity, so you're going to have your heart rate up a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, running downhill is extremely important. You can gain so much time. The first time I ever went to the St. Croix Triathlon, I actually lost the race because of a downhill. I couldn't run it fast enough.
Which is crazy because she's a great downhill runner.
But I didn't used to be,
Right.
and I got better at it because I practiced.
Right, and the reality is if you're going to a race and there's equal ups and equal downs, the race is won on the down, it's not won on the up.
And winning doesn't necessarily mean that you cross the line first. Winning
No.
means that you have had your best performance.
Your personal win, exactly.
For more information and tips and awesome training plans, visit us at racereadycoaching.com.
Yep, I'm Brandon and this is Joanna, and this is How to Run Like an Olympian.